Hey you, I want you to subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and leave me a comment. Even if it's an emoji, just do it now and say hi Lee and watch it all the way to the end. Let's go, 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 okay? Hi everyone, I made tea, chai green. Cheers. Does van life make you smarter, or does it make you just crazy stupid? That's not a crazy question, actually. I've thought about this since first becoming a nomad. Back in 2017, oh my gosh, when I first moved in to my minivan and I started driving around the city, I stayed in my city, Tucson, for 2 months. Then I finally ventured out of it and went across the country. Well, I started pondering this question. I'm constantly changing things. Things are constantly changing every day. Where am I going to park? Where am I going to shower? What part of the city am I going to be in? There didn't seem to be a lot of stability at first, and it's going to be that way in the nomad world, in van life. So I started pondering that question. Am I actually going to get smarter because I'm figuring things out, or am I going to become so stupid? Eventually, I'm not going to grow intellectually in van life. I don't know if you've ever asked that question, but I did because I was knee deep in it. So I did a little bit of research. The last week I've been really thinking about this because I'm changing location. And I asked my son, the psychologist, and he really didn't know the answer to that, but we've talked about it through the years, the 8 years that I've been in van life. In case you knew, I'm Minivan Lee. I have my minivan here. It's kind of pinkish today, but I just felt a little pink today. And I have lived in a minivan for 8 years. Unbelievable. Well, I think I've gotten smarter. So I looked up this question. And it appears that it can be both. It can be both, okay? Basically, the nomadic movement grows adaptive intelligence. So there's different kinds, yes. When you change environments, cities, seasons, even daily parking spots, your brain has to constantly recalibrate. Oh yeah. New lighting, new sounds, new people, new routines, and that keeps your neuroplasticity. Remember that, there's going to be a test afterwards. Neuroplasticity, it keeps it strong. Okay? Yay. You're engaging the brain's navigation, social, creative centers all at once when you're in van life. Van life, I will say it, van life is so different than living in a house. It really is. I don't care what anybody says. It is very different. It's a whole different, it's a mindset. It's a whole different vibe. There are different movements going on. Okay. It's the same mechanism that keeps explorers, travelers, and lifelong learners sharp, well into old age. That's a good thing, isn't it? Yeah. It's hot in Tucson. Let me keep my fluids. Let me replenish my fluids all throughout here. Wow. Okay. So yes, fluid intelligence, which is problem solving, flexibility, and creativity, they absolutely benefit from moving around. It's the cross training for your mind. Yay. Okay. But there's always, there's always a big but, isn't there? That's from Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Do you remember that, Yvette? he was talking to a vet, and she kept going, but, and he goes, everybody's got a big butt, don't they? There's a fly in here. There's alcohol, water in here. I hate flies in here. On the flip side, let's keep going. The parts of intelligence that thrive on long-term stability, like projects that need sustained focus, deeper memory building, or large creative arcs, can be harder to nurture when your body and senses are always adapting. Yeah, that's what I was curious about way back. It's like, is all this adapting gonna make me stupid? Because I can't settle into these long-term, deeper thoughts. I'm just always trying to figure something out all the time. Like, for me, it was, as I was traveling, it's like, well, where's the laundromat? You walk into a laundromat. I've never been here before. Where's the coin machine? How much do they cost? Do I have to use a card or can I use coins? It was all of that. And which of the dryers are hot? Which of the washers actually work? So over time, I was like, it's mind fatiguing. You go to the next one, another city, another town, like, or I didn't like that laundromat, so let me go to another one in that city because let me find something better. Yeah, it really racked my brain on, am I going to become stupid over this? Or am I just going to be so smart? Am I just going to be so ready to go? So, settling for stretches of time. So if you're settled and you're settled for a long stretch of time, like you live in a house, okay? It helps your crystallized intelligence. That's wisdom, synthesis, and reflection. And this helps you to anchor yourself. So here we go. The secret to rhythm. And I do want to mention Maslow's, let me find that. Maslow's hierarchy. Did you ever hear that if you've been in psychology? But even if you haven't, you probably should have heard about it. It calls Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And I do think it still holds true. It's sort of like a pyramid. We don't like the food pyramid anymore. That was wrong. But Maslow's hierarchy was probably right, okay? So way down here at the bottom of the pyramid are your physiological needs. These are your hierarchy of needs to get to the very top where you can be more self-actualization. Okay, so the basic needs are food, water, warmth, and rest. Okay, so sometimes living in a van, sometimes you have to take care of these needs way down here. And if you don't, you can't go up higher. You're stuck down here. And it made me think, I've been talking about the homeless a lot too. They're stuck at the bottom. They can't really move up to self-actualization, higher thinking, higher frequencies, because they're way down here at the very basics. Next, the next level is safety needs. Security, stability, shelter, and health. Yes, nomads can get stuck in the second one too. And I would pretty much say everybody homeless is stuck at number 2, the next rung up. Number 3, love and belonging. That's relationships, friendships, and community. Well, nomads can get stuck there too. If they feel like they don't belong, they're not really belonging in a community. They're not part of that. They don't have good friendships. Yes. And of course, the homeless are there. The next one is esteem, self-respect, confidence, and recognition. Yes. Yeah, nomads can get stuck there. And I'm not even sure if homeless can actually reach that level because they're so worried about safety way down there. Food, safety. Yeah. Then the very top of the pyramid is self-actualization, creativity, purpose, realizing your full potential. Okay? So in van life, you also are going to be using Maslow's hierarchy. Yeah, you can get way up here and you can be creative. When all of those needs below, they have to be met first. Okay, so let's go back. So the key is rhythm. So yeah, I've actually built the perfect rhythm. Yes. So it's not just roots. It's sort of a rhythm. I had the rhythm of going for 6 months up to Flagstaff. Okay. Now it does take a few weeks to get used to it. But then I settle in because year after year, I know Flagstaff a little bit better. Things do change though every season. So I do have to take time to get used to it. But then I can settle in. So there's my roots. Yes, and I meet new people. And I can settle in with Maslow's hierarchy. And I can go up to self-actualization, where I was writing and creating, doing videos, talking to you good people. Yeah, so I met those hierarchy. Now, as far as love and belonging and community, you want to be a part of it. You want to talk to people where you're at. And your online friends are going to give you a lot of that stability. There's nothing wrong with having online friends. My online friends are my lifesavers. Yes. They throw out my life, my buoy, my lifesavers. Yes. And you are my lifesavers too. Oh my goodness. You probably have no idea, but you do. You're my lifesavers. It made me think of some of the other nomads out there, because I know what my lifestyle is, and I tell you about it. Yes, and I just am now again. 6 months I'm in one area for the summer, and then in the winter I'm 6 months in another area. I have carved out this pattern for myself. So I have both. Okay, I have the flexible for flexibility, for survival. I can brainstorm. I can figure things out. It's like putting a puzzle together. But I also eventually settle in, and I've got that stability for myself. There are nomads out there that what they do is they travel a lot. Let's say in the summer, they go. They want to go see this national park. Then they go to this national park. If you constantly do that, you will become mentally fatigued and confused. It's going to be that way. And I've met people like that. What happens is eventually nomads settle in. You will get your rhythm. I mean, unless you have no intelligence whatsoever. But I think most of us do. What happens is you might go for a couple years, and then in between you kind of stay in one spot for 2-3 weeks, and then you might travel again. But when you first get started, you go. I did. I went. And I thought about this a lot when I took off from Tucson and I drove across to Ohio. I was pretty mentally fatigued by the time I got there. But then there was no rest for the weary. No, I had to figure out where I was going to go when I was there. Well, I stayed with my daughter for a couple months, but I still didn't know the area. I'd never been to Cincinnati before. Really, I grew up, I was born and raised in Upper Ohio. And my parents never drove down to Cincinnati, so I knew nothing about it. I was fascinated with it, so I wanted to go see so much. Oh my gosh. And then there were times where I wanted the freedom and I would go sleep in different areas. Well, after a while, you become mentally fatigued, and it does confuse you. So you have to settle in. And so that's my advice for somebody just getting started in nomad life. Yeah. That this is going to be a pattern in the beginning. Because you want to see, it's freedom. You've got freedom, and it's just so fun driving here and driving there. And after a while, the parking issue, like at night, you'll get it figured out. Ooh, I love my... Don't want to burn out my flashlight. Yeah, you'll get the parking figured out. I promise you will. Let me put this fan on me just a little bit more. It's getting warm out there. It's the afternoon. But you're going to figure it out. So, but what happens is you're going to become more of a puzzle person. You're going to have more flexibility in your intelligence because you're going to be figuring things out. Yeah. You know, you've got to figure out in a new city or wherever you are, you got to figure it out. The GPS, Google Maps. Where are you going to park for the night? How far do you have to go? Where are you going to do your laundry? Where are you going to wash your car? If there's a mechanic, now you're going to have to find a mechanic if anything goes wrong. You have to figure all of this out. You're going to become a problem solver, and you're going to become good at it. But you can't keep it up over a long period of time. You've got to have a rhythm to this van life, and that's my advice, is a rhythm. So I'm glad that I had that cleared up. Yeah. So it's both. You can become crazy stupid if you just keep going on and on and on and not settling in somewhere. Right? And if you just want to settle in somewhere and not move at all, yeah, you're not going to get smarter. And I'm not saying anything against people living in houses, but a lot of you have settled in. And your problem-solving skills might have gone down just a little bit, maybe. For van lifers, we've got that going on all the time. And if we get that rhythm, we're going to be like superheroes. We can be flexible and problem solve, but yet we can love and self-actualize. Yes, we're like these gurus. Yes, we've reached it. Yes. So I hope you enjoyed this. Now, I do have 2 books I'd like to let you know about. I know that a lot of you already know about it. But one is The Modern Senior. And it gets you off your duff. Yes, become a modern senior. Don't just settle in. I mean, it's good to be stable, but don't settle. Okay? Don't settle in. When you wake up to create, not just to settle in. Okay? And then the other one is How to Live in a Minivan, the Minivan Leeway. They're both on Amazon. All my books are on Amazon. If you look in comments, I've got it pinned, the list of my books. There's something for everybody, and it helps support me, okay? And both of those books are on that list, and I'm going to leave, all the links are always in my video description. It's kind of at the bottom. So share this, okay? Share this with somebody. I love you guys. I will see you tomorrow morning. Go see this morning's video. That you can call me the Thinking Nomad. I ponder these things. So go see in the morning too. This is something, I've discussed something that I have pondered before, okay? And I pondered this subject too. Smart or stupid? Smarter, crazy stupid, yes. It's both. Staying in one spot has its advantages, and moving around and having to figure things out again keeps you sharp in your mind, okay? And the stability helps you be creative. I will see you tomorrow morning. Got that? I love you.